Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and those seem to be the only people that are going to be enjoying today's show. Yep, it is a rainy day over here in Springfield. We are going off to the Springfield Antique Expo. We were there yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do a video yesterday. We're going to head on down today. They open at 8 o'clock today. Going to be a bit of a slow start. It's supposed to be raining till 9 or a little bit thereafter. It was an okay show yesterday. Unfortunately, I had a pretty bad headache. I did not feel well at all, sinuses and all that stuff. So I was under the weather, didn't feel like buying a lot of stuff, carrying a lot of stuff, and it's amazing how important how you feel goes into the kind of success that you have at a show. Again, I was passing by things that I probably would have bought had I felt more like carrying them, and I was just like, I just don't feel well. I'm only going to buy smaller items. Ended up spending, I believe it was $295 yesterday. Bought some stuff. Did meet up with the auction professor. You will see that video as well. Did a nice long interview with him, and he also is going to have me on his channel in an interview, so that was a lot of fun. Good catching up with him as well. So wish us luck that the rain slows up a little bit. We'll show you a bunch of footage from the show. We got a little footage from yesterday, try to show you a whole bunch from today. Hopefully you'll get some good buys, and we will be back at the hotel room with our usual after show commentary. So hopefully you definitely enjoy all this. Wish us luck. Let's pray for sun. Let's rain, go away. Come on back some other day. And here we are at the show. Would hippies please use the side door? A lot of great signage. You saw a lot of really neat things over here. Definitely do check out the auction professor as well. I know he had a lot of video footage that he showed me that he had taken of a lot of the interesting things there as well. You can kind of just see the size of the place right over there. Just huge. Again, it's laid out in a very odd manner. Little trick that I learned, there are numbers written down in the front of each vendor's stall, and there are maps available. So definitely do get a map, and if you do see somebody that you like, write down their number, because I had seen somebody early on that I wanted to see what they wanted on an item. They weren't there, and I never found their table again. So definitely that does happen. As you can see, there's a little bit of everything there, though, too. There's furniture, there's food, obviously, there as well. You can definitely make an entire day out of it. So just so many different things. And that kind of just gives you an idea. There's a nice sausage and hot dogs there. Kind of gives you an idea as to the size of the place. It is actually the fairgrounds that they hold this on, and they do hold it every month during the summer. It's much smaller. And then twice a year, they have what they call the extravaganza, which is what this is over there. It's kind of neat there on that bicycle. I'd never seen somebody have a bike up there with the little holding thing they had on the wheels. I did notice that when I walked by. Right there I am there noticing it, as you can see. But pretty neat there, radio flyer and all that over there. Pedal cars for the kids. And again, the old oil cans. And you had some people that specialized in certain things. And then you had other people who just kind of had the mishmash of items. But this will give you a good kind of view of what the various people had. And there's old stuff, new stuff. There's even those couple of, there's somebody who's looking for comic books. Who's that handsome man? There even were one or two people that had the Chinese knockoff stuff, or not really knockoff, but the Chinese stuff that you see at the flea markets as well. I'm trying to think of, they basically, those people, they all set up, the vendors all set up and just kind of all the stuff out. It's like $1 an item and $3 an item and stuff like that. And if you need a toilet plunger, they have it. So those people did set up there as well. Just kind of a nice little mishmash. Now, one of the tricks, like this would be a booth that Mrs. Papergoy is doing the shooting. This would be a booth I wouldn't even walk in. I would walk that far in and I would see there's nothing of interest to me. So I would just keep walking. And as I mentioned with Auction Professor, that's exactly what you need to do just because of the size of a place like this. So if you took the time to go into every single booth, you really would not ever get through the thing whatsoever. Here's another table that I would just walk by. And meanwhile, all of the people out there that like tools are saying, that was an $80 tool the guy had sitting there. What did he want on it? And that's just goes to show there's so many different things at this place. that no matter what it is you collect, you definitely can find something or other that suits your needs there. Just a little bit of everything there, to say the least. And again, more boots that I would just walk by very, very quickly, which is why it's a good thing Mrs. Papergoy is the one doing the filming. Nice radio there that, again, I don't do radio, so I don't know anything at all about it. I do not believe the car was for sale, or the truck. Just more stuff. And again, both sides. And that's another thing, too, that you need to do in something rather like this is you almost need to walk up one side, down the other in some of the rows because, again, they are so, as you can see, they're pretty far apart. So to go back and forth between them isn't always viable. And again, it depends upon who's open and you get stuck behind people because a lot of people were pulling. That's a small cart compared to a lot of the carts that people were pulling. They actually were renting carts and all that stuff over there. So a lot more people had them than they did in the past. They were renting a lot of stuff like that as well. I did not look into what they were renting them for, but a lot of people were carrying them around. That looks like homemade craft kind of things as well. That these people, I wonder if Mrs. Papergoy is trying to tell me she wants these, if she's fixating on them. I don't know. Again, I would just walk right by and wouldn't even notice them twice. And again, there was things like the DVDs, VHS, all that kind of thing there. I did not see a lot of people with video games. And the other thing that there were not a lot of, which actually surprised me, there were about 2 or 3 dealers that had them, were Funko Pops. Were not a lot of Funko Pops there either, which that really did surprise me. Not that I was looking for them, but it would be the kind of thing that I would expect that more dealers to have. Because again, at any event this size, they claim that there's over 1,000 dealers at something or other like this. And you're going to have the old time dealers and you're going to have the new ones. And that right there is just absolutely classic. And every single person that walked by commented on that. That is wicker. I did not check for a price on it because I'm afraid it would be too low and I didn't want to buy it. But yeah, again, that was definitely the talk of the show. Everybody walked by that item right there and said, oh my goodness gracious. Tons of work, I'm sure, went into making that. No doubt at all. And certainly if I, owned a motorcycle shop of some sort, that would be just a great item to have and put it there. Of course, you have to put the signs telling people not to sit on it because I'm sure everybody wants to do so. Glassware, if that's your fancy. Artwork, you'll see I actually bought a piece of artwork from this gentleman. You'll have seen in a video. In fact, it's that piece right there that this fine gentleman is showing me. That is now hanging on the wall at the Papergoy Palace. That right there is a listed artist, some work that he did. He went through his Picasso moments over there as well. But that one piece just really, really caught my eye. So I ended up buying that one over there for the wall. But, just a lot of neat stuff. This gentleman also had 1906 horse magazines that he gave me a pretty good deal on. I ended up buying those as well from him in a different deal earlier, and that's when I started talking to him about the paintings. But yeah, he's friends with the son of the artist, so he has a lot of those various paintings for sale. But kind of neat over there. He was saying that the colored ones right there were really, really popular. But again, the one that did it for me was the one with the one that I ended up buying, obviously, which is an actual painting as opposed to a framed print these aren't prints, but framed item over there. So, and again, you absolutely never know what you might find in a place like this over there. There he is explaining the art to me, as a matter of fact. I think Mrs. Papergoy was standing around hoping that I would not buy the item because she was less of a fan of it than me. But everybody's a fan of coffee, of course. So just kind of linger here for another moment, and then I think we're gonna head over to another booth if what I see is going there. Oh, she's not listening. She's just still there trying to talk me out of buying it. It didn't work. I bought it. Cut to the chase. So yeah, those are some of the things you see. And again, the old style art as well. Looks like a frame print right over there. So if you're into the religious themes and all that, that also is there. Oh, that right there, as you can see with that last picture right there, was a big problem. There was a lot of rain. And actually, when we went the second day, we got there at 8:30 when it opened at 8. And most of the vendors were still closed down because of the rain. It was pretty nasty. And in fact, there was a gentleman that I saw there with a wheelchair who was saying he could not get into a lot of the different booths just because of the rain. So there were booths that he couldn't get into. Now, those people used an old ironing board and board. Oh, hello. Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. In order to allow people to get into that is really freaky. It's almost like the eyes are following me. But yeah, the rain was pretty bad over there. As you could see from our intro too, with the rain coming down, it did clear up around 8:30, and it was a really beautiful day. The rest of the day over there. I know there are more booths. I think I'm just culminating this deal, and I think we'll move on to another booth right over there. Apparently, that's the one that I should have bought. That was the one she was fixated on over there. Oh nope, there's the beautiful painting that hangs in Papergoy's house as we speak. Unfortunately, too, there was a little bit of damage on the front of it, which I was aware. He did point out to me, and he gave me a discount because of that. But you saw the giant sign there, too, as well, the gasoline sign as well. So old scales, just giant golf sign over there. So if you are into pretty much anything, if you're collecting pretty much anything, you can come to a show like this over here and definitely find stuff. There he actually put the painting out front in order to draw people in. He did not have that out earlier in the show. Most people did have the tarps over, like the tents, but there were some people that did not, and those people I felt really bad for, especially with the rain. There was one or two items that I was going to buy, but they did get water damage on them to the point that I said I don't really want to buy them. They might be able to dry out, but it just wasn't worth the risk. My main concern was that not that they wouldn't dry out, because I know that they would, but that I would put it in the bag and they would ruin something else in the bag. So I said, something, I don't even want to mess with that. We'll just leave that sitting over there. And there Papergoy is, the proud winner of that beautiful piece. Right there. Now he's looking for his wife, wondering if Mrs. Papergoy was still around. She did not skedaddle fast enough. Yeah, art is in the eye of the beholder. We'll just say that. Now he gets to carry that while she gets to take some pictures of more tables of things. So definitely do come on out. We're going to be heading right over momentarily to the treasures that Papergoy did find beyond that beautiful painting, which is not for sale, so don't even ask. But again, the last few tables here on our way out the door, as I wanted to carry that over to the car now, lest it get further damage on it. So hopefully you enjoyed the footage. I want to thank Mrs. Papergoy for a wonderful job, and she did great work on the video again. I never end up doing that. So now we're going to head on over to the hotel, and you'll see the treasures that I won. And we are back. The rain ended up clearing up. Wound up not being bad. We got there at 8:30. It opened at 8 today. And at 8:30, most of the people were still closed up. We ended up staying till about 2 o'clock today. So I ended up putting a full day. Spent $652 between the 2 days. So bought a bunch of stuff over there. Quick tip for you. When you go to something or other like this, wear a hat. I got the sunburn on the top of the head because of the short hair, my face. Mrs. Papergoy said I look like a lobster. So I'm going to be feeling this for a little while, and it's not safe to do either. So definitely I've learned my lesson until next time when I forget. And you definitely do want to wear a hat. Now, there are a lot of good buys out there, no doubt at all about it. I wanted to highlight a few things that I picked up over here just to show you what's available. This over here I ended up paying $1 for, Top Value Stamps Catalog. And just for the cover alone, that's a Norman Rockwell cover. So just for that alone, it'd be worth 20 bucks. Let alone all of the great things inside, just great catalogs, toys and games and all sorts of housewares and things. So you definitely do want to buy these anytime you can pick up for $1 or so. Minimum you need to ask on these is about $20 to $25. And you will end up getting it. People will pay that for something like this. Just a great reference for them as well. So just a great item over here for $1. Sometimes I'll see programs out there. Usually I do not buy them. The exception, the Sun Bowl or any bowl game. The bowl game ones tend to go for a fair amount more. I paid $1 for this. I know University of Alabama played SMU in it, 1983. So if I remember right, it's probably Dickerson and Craig James. So it would have been a really good game as well. So pick up the bowl game ones. The regular season games, not so much, unless it's some kind of a special game. But a bowl game, you definitely do want to pick up. Pick this up over here. I do wish it were in better shape. It does have the little wear over there, but I paid $1 on this as well. Weightlifting Championships and Mr. America contest from 1967. Did not go through this as to who might be in here. I don't really know. But I know that weightlifting and bodybuilding things are always really, really popular. Bob catched there on the back. So to pay $1 for that, even in that condition, is a risk worth taking. Another item I paid $1 for, which I think I stole, Reader's Magazine. This is one of those free magazines. This came from the Midwest. Bruce Springsteen cover. And you also got a Wonder Warthog, which if you know underground comics, you would know him. Dolly Parton, who is always very, very popular. So just a great free magazine here. You could ask a fair price on this. I'm probably going to ask $40 to $50 on it, just again because it's got the boss there on the cover. So great little item there. Just to show that some old comics are still available out there, Rocky Lane Western #2. Now Western comics usually are not particularly hot. This is an early issue #2. Paid $1 for it. Did a little bit of search. In this condition, it's about a $100 comic book. It's going to go into the collection short term anyway, even though I don't collect Rocky Lane. They're not making anymore, and he's not going to be less or more popular a few years from now. So for $1, I can add that to the collection. So that's a pretty neat little item right there. Another item over here I paid $2 for, Wizard of Light, the story of Thomas Edison. Now I happen to collect giveaway comics, and this would be a giveaway comic. I did not really look to see what year it was because they did multiple reprints. Looks to be from the 1970s, and I did see one from the 70s going for $45 on Amazon. So don't pass up the giveaway comics. A lot of people don't collect them, don't want them. They say, oh, the free comics are not worth anything. That's pretty far from the truth. There are some pretty heavy-duty collectors of the free comics out there, or promotional comics. Got something or other over here for Mr. Magazine, the 1980 Star Wars poster art calendar. Don't tell him, because I probably haven't given it to him yet. Kind of a neat little item over here. I paid $3 for it. No, I paid $5. $5 for this. People sell them for about $20 to $25 over on eBay. Just a nice little item there for him that I picked up out here. Did pick up the World's Conservation Exposition and Plowing Contest, which I had no idea there was such a thing. Not only was there such a thing, this was the 5th annual. This is the kind of thing, it's great because it's got a lot of great farm ads in it. So I'm going to highlight the ads when I put it up as well. No idea at all what it's worth. I don't know the first thing about it, although it is from 1957. Paid $1. Just looking at it, my first thought was it's at least $25 with no research at all. It's got to be a $25 item. So again, you can find things like this. They were giving this away. I don't understand what they were thinking. They originally had this priced at $3. They ended up selling it to me for 75 cents. I bought some other things as well. They're 1953 or 56, I forget now, Topps Flags of the World cards. There are 18 of them in there. They go for about $1.80 a card. So that winds up being about $30-some worth of cards out there for 75 cents. Now, it's going to go in the collection, but certainly a deal like that, you cannot lose money on 75 cents for a stack of cards from the 1950s. You're going to do well no matter what. And again, these things are all out there. This is a case where it's worth the time to take a look through and cherry pick somebody. They had a pile of old 1920s programs from plays. And the kind of thing that I usually really like to buy, except they wanted $6 a play. The lady said, I can give you any one you want, whatever, for $5. So I took the time to go through them all, and I ended up buying one, which is what we would call cherry picking. The Studebaker Theater from Chicago, but I don't know how well you can see this, 1926, The Great Gatsby. Now I did a little bit of research after I bought it, and I would estimate this to be about $100 to $120 program. Not too many of these are out there. Great ad there in the back. But again, that would be cherry picking. I did not see anything in any of the rest of them that would be any good. They probably would have been $15 to $20 programs. I can't really invest $5 into them for them being as slow moving as they are. However, for one that I can list at over $100, I certainly can pay $5 on it. So again, take the time to cherry pick and you'll be surprised what you might be able to find out there. A couple of other things over here. You'll be seeing these in a future video. I paid $1 for a bag of bags. And I know everybody sits there and laughs out there, but believe it or not, these stupid bags do sell. People will want them. Hallmark card bags and all that stuff look to be from the 1970s, all from Oxford, Mississippi. How they found their way from Oxford, Mississippi up to Ohio, I have zero idea. How they're finding their way to New York, well, I bought them. So we'll be listing these things over there as well in the future. And again, believe it or not, bags like that end up going, and the guy didn't even really count it in when he was going through stuff. Last couple of items over here. I thought this was really, really neat. Looks to be an iron-on. I didn't really take a look at it, but just because it's backwards like that, I expect it's probably an iron-on for Rubik Cube. I paid $2 on it. I was buying a bunch of other stuff from the gentleman. Picked out a bunch of paper he had. I have no idea what it's worth. My thought is it's got to be 15 to 20 bucks, but it's also really, really neat looking. Another item over here that I picked up is Operation U, your role in civil defense. Now I paid, it was marked 18, they did give me a discount on it, but the reason why I bought this is when you go inside of it, it's got a lot of stuff inside, including something that you've seen before in our Bolo videos, the family fallout shelter. This has a whole bunch of stuff. If I want to break it up, I can probably get $15 a piece out of each of these little items in here, or I can keep it all together and sell it at one price. I haven't decided yet how I want to sell it, but it's a nice little item there. Also picked up, and I picked up a bunch of them the first day as well, a whole bunch of different menus. Menus always sell well. Train menus to be in a railroad, the George Washington 90 car, and it's a Santa Fe Fun. Train stuff is always nice, and the other advantage to selling these things is I've got a lot of other train stuff listed, so these will go good. Something that I forgot in the car that I know I will do very, very well on, the gentleman had 800 Star Wars cards from the Blue Series on through the Return of the Jedi, 60 bucks. You cannot go wrong at all at that. I paid like 7 cents a card. I might be able to make a first series set out of it. I don't know. There's a good stack. There's certainly more than enough to make a set out of it. And I have some at home as well to make sets. So that's a pretty good thing. And finally, the buy of the entire show, and I only brought a little bit of it in, the rest of it's out in the car. These are original arts from the 2005 through 2010 roughly. Senior gals stand out in the crowd. They're the ones wearing jackets on the 4th of July. And so on. Just a lot of great ones. This is an editorial cartoonist from Florida. A lot of these are from some of the retirement areas of Florida. You got Senator Kennedy and so on. I know a lot of these I'll be able to sell for $20 to $25 a piece. Now they'll be slow sellers, but I'll list them at that, and they definitely will end up selling for that because again, these are all original art. The guy had hundreds of them. I'm gonna guess 600, 700 of them. I don't even know, maybe even more than that. And he wanted $3 a piece or 2 for $5, which if you start doing the math, you're like, okay, that's quite a bit of money. He said, if you want them all, it's $150. Now, given that I only have to sell 6 at the price that I'm going to list them at, and that I know some of them definitely will sell, yeah, the Villages. So this guy did a lot of stuff there around the Villages area. These things will definitely sell, or at least some of them will. And to get a pile that I got, or an entire box of them that I ended up getting for the price that I got them for, very, very good on that over there. So don't overlook things like this, original art pieces. Years ago, I would not have been buying something like this. Now I am, and it's going to end up making my show, making everything very, very profitable and paying for the entire trip. And they're easy to store. That's another crazy, crazy things about that. You can get an awful lot of them stored away safely and easily. So hopefully that helps you a little bit there. Just showing you some of the things. These are actual things that I bought out there, and my actual ideas as I was going around. We got a lot of footage of the show as well, along with the interview with the auction professor. So it was a fun trip. We'll be heading out here again in September. Come on up and say hi to Papergoy because he'll be here in September. Hit the like button, and we will see you next video.